There are only 7 games to go in the Premier League this season, guys. Which teams down the bottom look set to survive and which teams down the bottom look like they're getting left behind and could be relegated down to the Championship? Before we get into this video, do make sure to share your thoughts and opinions down below, especially if you support one of these teams. And do make sure, of course, to hit that like button. We'll go for 211 likes on this one. Do make sure to subscribe as well as we go through it team by team. Since we last spoke about the Premier League relegation battle, which was during the international break, things have started to spread out a bit. There's about 5 or 6 points between the bottom 9 teams. Now you can see Crystal Palace, Wolves and Bournemouth are pulling away a bit, and teams like Southampton and Leicester are still rooted down the bottom. After weighing a few things up and doing a few calculations, I think 36 points will get you to Premier League safety this season. I can't see everyone down there getting above 36 points. So if you get to 36 points, even with a poor goal difference, I think that will get you over the line in this Premier League season. 35 could be enough, but we'll set the benchmark at 36, as that should be enough for any team down there. With that in mind, Crystal Palace and the teams above them are safe. I can't see any way in which Crystal Palace or anyone above them goes down. Even saying that, Wolves and Bournemouth look nearly safe, but we'll still talk about them as they haven't hit the magic 36 points. Let's go through it team by team, starting with Wolverhampton Wanderers. So then, as you can see, Wolves are on 34 points. I just think they need another 2 points just to get themselves just over the line this season. I think they'll do that quite comfortably. As you can see from their last 8 games, they've picked up 11 points. They've got 7 fixtures to go, and just 1 win will do it, or even just 2 draws would just be enough. Crystal Palace at home, Villa at home and Everton at home are really games they should target. I could easily see them winning 2 of those 3. And even on the road, Leicester, Brighton, Man United and Arsenal, they might be able to pinch 1 away win there. So I think Wolves are a team that virtually looks safe. They're not mathematically safe yet, and they've got to keep going until they are, but their recent results have put them in a good position. Just 1 more win or a couple more draws and Wolves should be alright this season. The team just below them are Bournemouth. Bournemouth have really shot up the table as well. 12 points from their last 8 games is tremendous for a team that is in that bottom 8. They've really shot up the table, and it does look like they're going to be able to survive. Their fixtures aren't that bad either. As I say, to get to 36 points, Bournemouth just need to pick up 3 more points just to get over the line, and I can see them doing that quite comfortably, if anything. West Ham at home and Leeds at home, they've really got a target. Wouldn't surprise me if they got something from Chelsea at home, maybe even Manchester United at home. And the away games to Southampton, Palace and Everton aren't impossible. I know there's a few 6-pointers down there, but they just need to pick off 1 win, and just to get 4 or 5 points will just make them feel extra safe. But the way Bournemouth are going, I could really see them finishing at a canter. Bournemouth also look like they're going to be alright this season, and it's been incredible to see them do that, considering everyone wrote them off. The next team we've got are West Ham United. Now, West Ham do have a game in hand, but can you call it a game in hand when it's away at Manchester City? Albeit, from their last 8 games, they've picked up 11 points. And if they were to pick up 11 points from their next 8 games, that would get them to 42 points. Once again, easily enough to stay up, especially with a very good goal difference like they've got. Like I say, I don't think they need to get that many. I think if they get to 36 points, they'll be all right, especially with their good goal difference. So they need to get 1 win and a couple draws. If they can pick out 2 wins, that'd be great. Their fixtures aren't as easy as Bournemouth's on paper. Liverpool, Manchester United and Leeds at home could be interesting games. Liverpool might just be improving at this moment in time. Manchester United might not be easy. Leeds United scrapping for their lives. But West Ham have obviously proved themselves that they could be a good team in the recent weeks. A great point against Arsenal last time out. They've got Bournemouth, Palace on the road. If they can pick out 1 win from those 2, they should feel safe going into the final couple games. But Man City, Brentford and Leicester, the last 3 away games, they could be tricky. I think West Ham should be alright if they just keep going the way they are. If they can pick up another win in the next 2 or 3 games, that should see them over the line. If they aren't to win any of their next 3 games, West Ham could get sucked back into it. But as I say, their recent form has got them moving up the table, so I think they could be alright. Now then, as you move on to the bottom 5, this is where it gets tricky. I think it'll be 3 from these 5 to go down, because they're all under a point per game and all of them haven't been in great form recently. If you look at Leeds United's last 8 games, they've picked up 10 points, which is a good return. But if you just look at their last 2 home games, they've conceded 11 goals. So they do need to pick up that next win pretty soon, especially with Forest and Leicester not that far behind them. Looking at those fixtures, Leicester at home is such a big one for Leeds United. It could be one that they might decide just not to lose, because if Leicester win, then that really does open up a can of worms for Leeds United. United. Fulham away could be interesting. Fulham haven't been in great form, but they did just beat Everton. Newcastle and Spurs at home might not be easy games either. Bournemouth away is one they might want to target. West Ham away as well, especially if they're safe by the time that game rolls around. They've also got to play Man City away. So Leeds United definitely aren't safe yet. They are in a better position than the 4 teams directly below them, but they do need to get another win soon, otherwise things could get interesting. The next team then is Everton, and Everton did certainly have a bounce when Sean Dyche came in, but with 6 points from their last 8 games, they've really not been moving themselves too far away from that bottom 3 and sit just above it on goal difference. With Everton on 27 points, they might need to target 3 wins from the final 7 games just to make themselves feel safe. 2 wins and a couple draws could be enough, but once again, they would be running the risk if they do that. Looking at those fixtures, the home games aren't easy. Newcastle could be tricky. Man City will definitely be tricky. Bournemouth could be winnable on the final day if Bournemouth are safe by then, and Bournemouth could be on the beach by then. The away games at Palace and Leicester are massive. Brighton away is not easy. Wolves away could be interesting as well, but looking at those games, given Everton's form, it is tricky to pick out 3 wins there for Everton. It might be a case of 2 wins and a couple draws might just have to be enough for Everton. We shall see. Next up, you have got Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest are in the 2nd worst form out of any club in the division, with just 2 points to show from their last 8 games, which is an average of 0.25 points per game. It feels like ages since Nottingham Forest picked up a win. What is in their favour is they do have quite a few points in the bank already, so despite their terrible run of form, they're only in the bottom 3 due to goal difference, so it's not impossible for Forest to actually get out of it despite how bad they've been in those last 8 games. If you look at the next couple games, Liverpool, Brentford and Brighton are really tricky. Forest need to try and pull out 1 magic win out of those 3 games just to keep themselves in it before some more winnable games roll around. Southampton at home, it has to be a win for Nottingham Forest. It just has to be a win. Chelsea and Arsenal are definitely going to be tricky. They might need to pinch a point there. I know Nottingham Forest have been pretty rubbish away all season, but if Crystal Palace are on the beach come that final day, Nottingham Forest might just be able to snatch a final 3 points, which could just get them enough. As I say, with Nottingham Forest on 27 points, they need another 9 points to get to the magic 36. They might be alright with 35 points, but can you see them winning 2, drawing 2 and losing 3? I really don't know, in all honesty. But one thing that is for certain is Forest need to get a minimum of 2 wins from these final 7 to give themselves any chance of getting over the line come the final day. 2 wins and a couple draws is surely the minimum they need. Just below Nottingham Forest you find Leicester City, who are in the worst form in the division with just 1 point from their last 8 Premier League games, which is a horrendous return. Albeit they've just changed the manager and brought in Dean Smith now, and out of any of the teams in the bottom 5 over the last weekend, Leicester probably had the best weekend, considering they went away to Man City and lost 3-1, which is no disgrace, and the other teams in the bottom 5 also lost, so Leicester City didn't get cut any more adrift. Looking at the fixtures, Wolves and Everton at home are massive games for Dean Smith to get stuck into. Leeds United away, as we already addressed, is huge. Fulham away might be a game where Leicester can pick something up. Newcastle away and Liverpool at home could be tricky, and it could come down to the West Ham game on the final day. With Leicester on 25 points at this moment in time, they do need to go on a very good run now to get to 36 points. Their goal difference is quite nice, so if they were to get 10 points and get to 35, that could actually be enough if Everton, Forest and Leeds also struggle. It's not impossible for Leicester to get out, but Dean Smith needs to hit the ground running. If Leicester City lose their next 2 games, they are out of it, in my opinion. The final team we've got then are Southampton, who are still only just 4 points adrift, which means they're still technically in this, despite a lot of people writing them off. From their last 8 games, they've picked up 5 points. 5 points from their next 8 definitely won't be enough. For Southampton to get anywhere near that magic 36 points to survive, they need to pick up a minimum of 4 wins from their final 7, which doesn't look likely. However, if you look at the fixtures here for Southampton, they have got games they can target. Bournemouth and Fulham at home have to be wins. They need a minimum of 6 points from those first 2 home games there. Liverpool at home, they might even need to get a draw from as well. Arsenal away, okay, that could be a free hit, but it is their next game, and if they lose that, it leaves them with 6 games to do all the work. Newcastle away, once again, they might need to get something. As we said with the Forest game, Forest need to beat Southampton, and Southampton need to beat Forest, so that game should be interesting. Brighton away is their final away game. Once again, they might need to get something there. I think what we can all agree on with Southampton being bottom is they've got the least margin for error. They can probably only afford 2 defeats in their final 7, and as I say, need to probably pick up 4 wins or 3 wins and a couple of draws. So then guys, that is the state of play in the Premier League relegation battle as we go into late April and obviously still have May to come up. Looking at that table, I do think it will be 3 of that bottom 5. I just think Crystal Palace and Wolves will be fine. Bournemouth and West Ham play each other next weekend, so the winner of that will surely be on their way to staying up, and I think the other team probably will as well. Leeds United seem to be doing okay, but their last couple of games have put them back into the mixer, especially with the damage done to their goal difference. Everton had been doing okay, but Sean Dyche now needs to get that next win soon, as once again they're just above that bottom 3 on goal difference. Nottingham Forest form has been terrible, but they still have a chance of getting out here because Leeds and Everton just above them haven't been putting great results together in the last couple of weeks. Leicester City have quite a lot to do, but they do have a new manager and some winnable fixtures to possibly get out of this, and Southampton just need to go for wins to have any chance of staying up here. Do share your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments, and do make sure of course to drop a like and subscribe for more Premier League relegation content. We'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.